Hello everyone, thank you for your opportunities and your free time to learn joining with me. And now we are talk about learn with syntax, the part of syntax. So we can uh, go to learn together. Ya, kita langsung saja syntax final project. The types of phrase, clauses, and sentence. Types of phrase. A phrase is a group of words that form a conceptual unit. Types of phrase are follows: noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, verb phrase, and prepositional phrase. The first about noun phrase. Noun phrase is a group of words that consists of a or a pronoun as she, he, it, and other words the modifier the noun. Modifier can refer to the articles, for example, a, an, and they. And then next about quantifiers. Quantifiers using the words about some, a lot, and a little. And the next demonstrative using the word this, that, and those. And the possessive using the word his, her, and they, their. Yes. An adjective or adverb noun phrase are used to give more information about noun. They can function as the subject, object, or complement of a sentence. For example, her black cat is always outside. And the next, I saw a scary movie yesterday. So noun phrase yang ada cetakan tebal. Contoh pertama, her black cat, noun. Dan di bawah, a scary movie. The next about adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is a group of words that consist of an adjective and other words that modify or complement it. Adjective phrases have the purpose of an adjective and are used to describe or add more detail to a noun or pronoun. They can come before and or after a noun. For example, the girl with short hair is running in the park. Adverb phrase. Adverb phrase is a group of words that consist of an adverb and often other modifiers. They have the function of an adverb and a sentence and are used to modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. For example, I go to the beach every weekend. The next example is agree and carefully learn piano. The next four about verb phrase. Verb phrase is a group of words that consists of head or main verb and other verbs. A verb phrase has the function of a verb sentence. For example, her sister goes goes shopping every Saturday. So di sini menggunakan verbnya yang ini. Goes. Prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a group of words that consist of a preposition and an object. A prepositional phrase can either act as an adjective or adverb in sentence. It is used to modify nouns and verb and gives information about the relationship with subject and verb. For example, the cat ran into the desk. So into the ini prepositionalnya yang ini. On my, ini onnya yang ini prepositional on, dan into ini prepositional. Next, about types of clause. What is clause? Clause are what make up sentence. They are groups of words that contain a subject and a verb. They can be a main clause, coordinate clause, or subordinate clause. Types of clause. What is a main clause? A main clause is a group of words that contain a subject and verb and can form a complete sentence on its own. It's also called independent clause because it is stand alone perfectly find out the support of another's clause. For example, the boy cried out loudly at night. Subordinate clause. Unlike a main clause, subordinate clause need a little help to make sense. It's also often referred to as dependent clause. A subordinate clause is a clause that can't stand alone as a complete sentence, even though it contains a subject and a verb. It doesn't contain a complete talk like a main clause does. It has to be linked to the main clause using a subordinating conjunction. For example, sitting happily. It's incomplete, so it is need a main clause. The short boy who is busy reading sitting happily. The next, about coordinate clause. A coordinate clause is made when you connect two independent clauses that are of equal importance. These clauses are connected by coordinate conjunction. For example, they want to go the beach, but it starts raining. Adjective clause. An adjective clause begins with a relative pronoun such as whom, whose, which, or that, or relative adverb when, where, or why. For example, the girl who has long hair is my cousin. The next, about what are the noun clause. A noun clause is Any clause that works in the same way as a noun. A noun clause is a dependent clause that takes the place of any nouns in the sentence, whether they are subject, object, or subject complements. For example, she was astonished by what she had read. And the last about adverb clause. Adverb clause is a dependent clause that doesn't make sense on its own. It's relies on another independent clause to make sense. It contains a subject and a verb, but it doesn't express a complete thought. For example, the women took notes while being taught to cook. Types of sentence. As a complete sentence is a group of words that convey a complete idea. Complete sentence must have at least one subject and predicate, the necessary piece of an independent clause. Four types of a sentence in English. Declarative sentence. A declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement or provides a fact or over an explanation or conveys information. The next about exclamatory sentence is a statement that expresses strong emotion. Uh, Typically, in English grammar, exclamatory sentence and with an exclamatory mark, also called an exclamation point. The third about imperative sentence is a sentence that expresses a direct command, requires innovation, warning, or instruction. Imperative sentence do not have a subject. Instead, a directive is given to an implied second person. For example, close the door. The last about interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question. A sentence written in the interrogative from can be direct or indirect. Begin with or without pronouns and futures yes or no interrogative. Alternative questions or tag questions. Interrogative sentence often start with interrogative pronoun and ending with a question mark. Types of sentence structures. There are four different types of sentence structure: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. Simple sentence. A simple sentence contains a subject or a person or a thing performing an action and a predicate or a verb or verbal phrases that describe the action and express a complete thought as in independent clause. Simple tenses do not contain independent or subordinate clause. For example, I clean my room. Compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses joined by either or a linking word, such as conjunction. For example, I look several dishes because we will have our guest in the evening. Third, about complex sentence is a sentence with one independent clause, also known as the main clause, and one or more dependent clause, known as the subordinate clause. When the when the dependent clause is first in the sentence, a common will connect the clause. Other complex sentences link the independent and the dependent clause with subordinating conjunctions like when, how, and if. For example, I will go to market if there is no rain. And the last about compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence contains at least three clauses, two independent clause and one or more dependent clause, which equates to three sets of subjects and verb. Things type of sentence is a combination of a compound sentence with a complex sentence. For example, the sun is shining through the clouds, so I think that we can go swimming. The, about talk about the next about tree diagram. The first, Waskito is busy with his job in the office. So the first about sentence, the next about noun phrase, adverb, noun, adjective phrase, preposition phrase, turun, preposition phrase, noun phrase, preposition phrase, article, noun phrase. So Waskita is noun phrase, so adverb, busy, adverb phrase, with preposition phrase, his job, noun phrase, in preposition phrase, the article, office, noun phrase. The next about I agree with what he say. So I is noun, agree is verb phrase, with is I noun, agree verb phrase, with verb preposition phrase, what he noun phrase, said adverb phrase. I did not like the subject, noun phrase, adverb apa ini apa nih, adjective phrase, article, noun phrase, verb phrase. So I noun phrase, did not, adverb, like, adjective phrase, the article, yc, noun phrase, talk, verb phrase. Fourth, about my father and my mother visit their parents in the village. Mulainya dari sentence, noun phrase, verb phrase, noun, noun phrase, preposition, artikel, dan noun phrase. My father and my mother, noun phrase. Visit, verb phrase. Their parents, noun phrase. In, preposition. The, artikel. Village, noun phrase. Ya, more terakhir. Susan always goes to Lipo Mall once a month to buy some new clothes. Mulainya dari sentence, noun phrase, adverb, verb phrase, preposition, noun phrase, preposition, noun phrase, adjective, artikel, noun phrase, preposition phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, dan noun phrase. Kita lihat penjelasannya. Susan always go to Lipo Mall once a month to buy some new clothes. Sesuai dengan penjelasannya, Susan noun phrase, always adverb, goes verb phrase, to preposition phrase, Lipo Mall noun phrase, once adverb phrase, artikel, month, noun phrase, to, preposition, by, verb phrase, some new, adjective phrase, clothes, noun phrase. Oke, saya rasa materi kita saat ini serasa demikian, dan terima kasih atas waktunya.